Hi guys, this is Mark from Pyucation, and today I brought something special for you. It's a small quiz to test your Python basics, and it's a selection of some of the most, or in my opinion, some of the most important concepts for beginners. As always, you can download the notebook on my GitHub page, and feel free to answer the questions before you run the cells. And I really want you to think about it first, and I want you to question yourself, do I understand this topic? Because then you know your weaknesses and where to improve. And we proceed with the solutions in a second. The first question is about indexing and slicing. We're given a list of strings, colors in this case, and we want to know the output. Let's start with another, simpler example first, and remember that slicing in Python uses start, stop, and step size. So for example, if we have colors 1 colon, which is equivalent to colors 1 colon colon 1, which is equivalent or which means start at 1 to the end in right direction with a step size of 1. So the output will be green, yellow, orange, and then blue. And now we have the example the from the quiz, and this is the green part here. So if we have colors 1 colon colon minus 1, this means start at 1 to the end in left direction with step size of 1. So the result will be green and red. And the last example, the example B in this case, the yellow or golden one, is colors column 1, column minus 1, which means start at the beginning until you reach 1, which is not included, in left direction with a step size of 1 as well. And remember, this is important, a negative step size means we iterate in reverse order. So we have blue, then orange, and then yellow. So going back to the code, we can now run or execute our cells, and we see green and red, and we see blue, orange, and yellow, which is what we expected. Question number 2. Question number 2 is about data types and lists and tuples and all this stuff. What we do here is creating an empty dictionary. So this is a dictionary, not a set. Otherwise, the following steps wouldn't work. And then we say, okay, at key 0, so this is the key, there's the value 2. And at key 1, there's this tuple consisting of the elements 4, 9, and 2. So, question A, what is the output? Let's run the cell first and then see or explain why we receive this index error. Index error, tuple index out of range. So what does it mean? Here we say x at key 1, so we're here, yeah, this line. Give me the index number 4, or the element with the index number 4. But index number 4 does not exist in this case because we have the 4 at index 0, the 9 at index 1, and the 2 at index 2. So this index number 4 does not exist in this case. But if we do this, for example, we should receive the 8 now. And we do. Okay, so this is why there's the error. Okay, wait. Question B. X at key 1 again, index number 2. This should yield 2, and it does indeed, but if we change this to 3, it should give us 3. Okay, question C, last question. Now we try to change the value, which I did manually, so we try to go here and change this to 3, but we won't succeed because at x at key 1 is a tuple, and tuple cannot be changed after initialization. So tuples, as you may remember, are immutable. So if we do this, or if we try this, we should receive some error. And we do. The type error tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, this is what I just explained to you. Question 3. It's a while loop, and it looks super ugly at first, but if you look closely and think about it for a couple of seconds, you will realize it's not that hard. Okay, so we start by initializing y with 100, and then say while y is greater than 42. Check if it's divisible by 3 and if it's not 60. Then subtract 1. Otherwise, check if it's divisible by 20 and then subtract 25. Okay, so we start at 100. 100 is not divisible by 3, so we do this because it's divisible by 20. So we subtract 25, we get 75, and then 75 is divisible by 3, and it's not 60, so we subtract 1. Then we get 74. 74 is not divisible by 3, and it's not divisible by 20, so we subtract 2. And now you should realize that by doing this and this, so subtracting subtracting 1 and 2, we always get a number divisible by 3 after that. So we do this until we reach 60. And here we exclude 60, but 60 is divisible by 20, and then we subtract 25. So all you need to do to come up with the result with the output is subtracting 25 from 60, which is 35. And if we do this, run the cell, we see it's actually 35. Question 4 is more related to math than to Python or programming. Of course, you need to know and to need to read what's written there, but you always need to do this. So yeah. So what do we have here? We have a function called square root of sum, and we pass 3 parameters to it, x, y, and z. And then we calculate the sum of the list of x, y, and z and say superscript 1/2. And if you know your math, you know superscript 1/2 just means taking the square root. We calculate the sum, take the square root, and return the result. So the sum of 1, 6, and 2 is 9, and the square root of 9 is 3. So this is the output. Now we need to alter the function to pass a list with a variable length. And what we need to do in order to get this is just replacing these fixed parameters by saying asterisk args. And then we can replace this list here as well and just say args. Again, calculate the sum, take the square root, return result, and the result should be the same. And it's the same, yes. We can add more arguments if you want. So for example this, and then we get another square root. Question number 5 is really tricky if you're a beginner. It's more riddle than a question, to be honest. So if you manage to solve it, well done, congratulations, you really know your basics. So what do we have here? We have some letters, and there is a hidden word inside those letters, and we want to find this hidden word with the code below this word. Okay. For this, we initialize 2 variables, relevant, which is equal to 1, and a variable called new word, which is an empty string in the beginning. And then we go through this word, so these letters here, one by one, so letter by letter. And then we check if the current letter is equal to the word at the relevant index. So at the beginning, this is 1, relevant is 1. We use this as the index, so we get F. And then we add this relevant letter to our new word. And then we add something to it. And for this, let's show you my presentation to make this more clear. So in the beginning, I told you relevant is equal to 1, and we use this as the index, and we get F. And then the length of new word is 1, and we add 2 plus the length of new word to relevant. So 1 plus 3 in total, which is 4. We do the same thing again, and relevant is 4 now, so we get the R. We append or add the letter R to our new word, and the length of our new word is now 2. So we add 2 plus 2, which is 4 in total, and we get 8 for relevant. So 8 will be the new index. And we can go through the whole word like this, but if you look closely, you should see the solution already, because look at the spaces between the relevant letters. At the beginning, we have 1, then the space is 2, then the space is 3. So now the space should be 4. Correct. So we have the letters F, R, E, then the space is 4. So the next letter will be S. Correct. And then the space will be 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the space, and the last letter is H. So the word will be fresh. And now let's execute the cell and see it's fresh. Well done. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little quiz. It's something different from the other exercises. And if you like it, please consider subscribing and leave a like. And then I can upload more of these small quizzes to test your knowledge and all this stuff. And I really enjoyed it. And also I really enjoy coming up with those questions. And let me know if you find it too hard, too difficult, or too easy, or is it like the correct or the right level of difficulty. So let me know in the comments and see you next time.